Hi guys, how are you doing today? Welcome back to Boxing with TT. I tried to do my makeup on camera, but I thought it looked horrible. And now that I'm looking at it, it looked kind of cute, but I hear a little bit of distractions in the background, so now I gotta redo it all over again. Okay, so I want to say thank you to the 4 views that watched my last video, and I'm not going to lie, it kind of discouraged me. It did discourage me because of the hard work that I had put in, being a mom plus a worker plus trying to be a YouTuber. That it kind of bothered me a lot. Okay, now with that being said, I hope everybody had a beautiful holiday, a beautiful weekend, and I hope everybody stayed safe and stayed home. Me and my family, we just stayed home. You might have some distractions in the background. Please ignore it because I'm not be doing another freaking video. Now, with that being said, welcome to Boxing with TT, and let's talk about the great Mr. Tom's Crib, okay? Well, Thomas Tom Crib is his name, right? Now, Tom Cribb was born July 8th, 1781, near Bristol. He moves to London at the age of 13. Mom's information is not up. Can't find nothing on mom. Don't know if he had any siblings. The only thing that I know is that his dad was a coal worker, okay? And in 1803, Tom Cribb returns from serving in the British Navy, okay? And then as he comes back home, he becomes a bell hanger. And then he works as a coal porter, just like that, okay? You know how usually I can give you guys a reason on why they started boxing? I don't know. I can't find it. It's nowhere to be found. All I can say is that his first fight was with George Maddox in British. And it was in January the 7th, 1805, at the age of 23. And he, at this age, is 189 pounds to 199 pounds. And he is like 5'9". This is not your regular bare knuckle fighting match. This is more of a sparring match. And this sparring match lasts all the way to 76 rounds. In the 13th round, Maddox is weak, but he does not give up. In the 40th round, Maddox begins to try to damage Cribb's eye. In the 60th round, Maddox loses his grip, and it was a draw to Maddox people. And Cribb is like, absolutely not. So you mean to tell me it's okay for him to damage my eye and keep on going, but it's not okay for me to, but it's okay for him to slip and now it's a draw? No, absolutely not. We, sir, we're gonna continue this spar. And that's what they do. They continue to spar all the way up to 76 rounds, which lasts for 2 hours and like 12 minutes. Cribb wins 20 games, okay? Now, I don't know if you guys remember that I told you that when it's a difference between a bare knuckle fighter and a prize fighter, okay? A bare knuckle fighter doesn't have to fight for money. Well, sometimes they don't fight for money. They just fight for the sport. But when you become a prize knuckle, that means people want to pay money to see you and stuff like that. And that's what people was doing. This is all within his very first match, okay? So that lets you know how ruthless Mr. Cribb actually was, okay? In 1805, in the same year, he fights 4 other men. He loses only 1 match, and this is to George Nicholas, July 20th, 1805. Cribb goes on to defeat Tom Blake and Jim Bleacher, and he becomes the first uncontested champion, okay? Remember I told you guys that they had put bare knuckle fighting on halt due to Mr. Jack Slack actions. Well, when they brought it back, they had to bring back a new belt, a new everything, okay? And at 1807, Bleacher wrist was damaged, but he was still able to knock out Mr. Cribb. Mr. Cribb lands to his feet on time, and with a broke hand within 35 minutes defeats Bleacher. I don't know how he broke his hand. Maybe he went to go jab the wrong way and messed up his stuff, okay? And then that's the end of that match. The match is over with. Mr. Tom wins. In 1808, in a 23 round, Mr. Cribb defeats Bob Greason, okay? And now he wins the English championship. So he is uncontested champion, and he was the English champion. This man is going places. He is doing things, okay? He is making his name ring bells. He is not playing no games whatsoever at all. Mr. Tom is a force to be definitely reckoned with. And if you don't want no smoke, then don't blow smoke his way, okay? In 1809, Bleacher, of course, wants revenge, okay? But this revenge does not do anything for him because he loses within 10 rounds. Sir, you couldn't beat him the first time. What made you think? I mean, you could think, but I would have just left it alone. Like, L, take that L and sit down, sir. Bleacher arm shows the damage his face would have suffered because everything that Mr. Cribb was giving him, he was blocking like this. And being that he was blocking with his hands and his wrist, mind you, his wrist was already broken. So he's blocking the hits like this. So all the hits, of course, are coming to his hands. It's coming to here. It's coming to here. That's how his face would have looked if he didn't cover it up. But his hands start swelling immediately, okay? And you can't continue on with swollen hands, sir, okay? Which means that you had damages done to your hand. And this is the end of Bleacher's in-ring career, okay? Is no more bare knuckle boxing for you, sir. Go sit down. Go injure them. Go wrist up them hands, okay? In 1810, though, Mr. Cribb versus Tom Maylocks. Mr. Maylocks is a former slave. And if Mr. Maylocks wins, then he wins 200 Guinnesses. And he would also win an extra $100 by Patreons after the match. This would also make Mr. Tom Maylocks the first African-American champion, and would set him off. He'd be good. But unfortunately, he doesn't win. Okay, he does loses for the championship of England. All right, and the match is set December the 18th, 1810. It was a rainy night, but the people did not care. They wanted to see this former slave fight this British champion. You know, he's not a champion once in one department, he's a champion in two departments. So they wanted to see all that right there. And for a 35 round, he still remained the world champion. It was controversy going through it, though, because it was stated that he only won because he had Maylocks had an injury, okay? When the crowd invaded the ring, he was injured with that. The second thing was that he took a long time to get in the ring, and they still let him continue on fighting. Yeah, no, I'm going to run with the first one. I do believe that Maylocks probably did get injured, and that was probably the reason why that he did lose, okay? I'm not running with Cribb took longer to come to the ring. Like, what does that mean? Like, so you lost because he didn't get counted out. So how would that work? So yeah, I'm going to run with that. But the two men fought again in 1811 in 11 rounds, and Cribb defeated Mr. Maylocks again. So no, sir, you just couldn't see him. That's just that. I'm sorry. I just got to keep it 100. You just couldn't see him. And he also defeated Mr. Maylocks' trainer, who is Bill Richmond, who is also, he's next on the list as well, okay? Tom decides to retire in 1812 at the age of 31 while going back to working as a coal merchant. he was still a part-time trainer, and he then became a publican. And he ran the Union Arms as well. It says arms, but I think army. I don't know what arms is. I don't know. But I'm just gonna give it to you what I was given to me. Okay. In 1839, he retired to Southeast London, and he passed away sadly at the age of 66 in 1848 from a health decline. Okay. Now the legacy of Crib is still popping. Okay. To this day in 2022, this man still has a pub named after him in London. Okay. It is called Tom's Crib Pub. Okay, and if you look it up, honey, is there right now today as we go, and it's still popping. I just looked it up on Facebook, honey, and they still in there. I think the latest post was in November the 21st, right before December. So people are still showing him love and still, putting it, they still making do what they do. His tombstone is shaped as a lion, and this is located in Woolwich, England. How did he get a shape that? How did he get a shape as? Maybe he liked the lions, and that maybe stayed on why he liked the lion, got the lion belt with the lion tomb. But it's said that his tomb is shaped as a lion, and it's not like a little lion. It's like a real big, strong lion. So that just shows how much people thought of Mr. Crib. They thought of him as a big giant lion. Okay. He leaves behind 5 sons and 6 daughters. And he was married in December 12th, 1809 in England to Miss Elizabeth Warre. Once again, in his 1822 retirement, his award was the Lion Skin Champion belt. Because like I said, anything that had something to do with Mr. What's his name? I can't think of that baby name, honey. What's his name, y'all? Hold on, I'm gonna get it. Hold on, bear with me, y'all. Hold on. Slack. There you go. Anything that had something to do with Mr. Slack, they just wanted to erase it pretty much. Like the belt was not the same. The bruise was definitely not the same. So instead of giving him his belt, his old belt, they gave him a lion skin belt. Okay. In 1839, he did lose the Union Arms. And then in 1954, he was introduced to the Boxing Hall of Fame. And in 1991, he was International Boxing Hall of Fame. And unfortunately, this is the short life and career of Mr. Tom Crib. But the thing that bothers me about this is that this man started boxing in 1807, if I'm not mistaken. 1805. It took them until 1954 to introduce him, to induct him into why. Why did it take, I don't know, all these years for this man to be welcomed into the boxing era? He should have, and he's not the only one that do this to. You feel me? Like they wait until these people are gone to, let's put him in this year's Hall of Fame. Why? Why do they have to wait until they're damn near in the foot is in the graveyard or in the graveyard to be recognized for something that they was putting down? Like, I don't understand it. It makes me upset because they don't just do this with boxers. They do this with everybody, even with the wrestlers and the boxers and the singers and the rappers and the rock and roll stars. Like, why is, perfect example, Biggie Small just got introduced to the Hall of Fame? Like, why? Like, Mick Jagger got introduced. Like, why? Why is these people that's putting out these work getting inducted solely? Like, it makes no sense at all. But yeah, that's it for Mr. Tom's Crib. I am working on someone as we speak right now. Hopefully I can get another video up to you probably today or tomorrow. But please, please, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and tell me anybody else that y'all want me to do. I am happily to oblige by what y'all want me to do. And y'all have a good and a safe and a happy day. And I will see you when I see you. Peace out.